So last week, we reported a story coming out of Pennsylvania about a 14-year-old boy who was messing around with his buddies in front of a church, and he took a funny picture with a kneeling Jesus statue in front of him, and he pretended like the statue was sucking him off. He took pictures of it and put it on social media, and ha ha hee hee, look, Jesus gives head. So what happened as a result of that? Did somebody call his mommy and complain? Did he go to detention in school? No. He was arrested, and he was charged with an obscure community morals law dating back to 1972, which was rarely, if ever, used. And he's facing up to 2 years in prison for just horsing around. He's facing up to 2 years in prison. So today we learn about the genius who decided to move forward with the case and prosecute the kid. His name is Bill Higgins Jr. He's the district attorney, and he said the following, quote, "His actions constitute a violation of the law, and he will be prosecuted accordingly. If that tends to upset the anti-Christian, ban school prayer, war on Christmas, oppose display of Ten Commandments crowd, I make no apologies." So this guy is clearly a strong, moral, Christian conservative who is not very fond of lewd sexual nonsense. If there's anything you could take away from his comments and his actions, he's not fond of lewd sexual nonsense. Well, Raw Story explains, quote, "Less than a month before pursuing charges against the teen, Bedford County DA Higgins posted a link to an interview between Howard Stern and porn actor Nick Manning, in which Manning discusses his frequent use of the phrase, dropping loads, during his scenes." So this guy liked the video. Now, what's awesome about this story is that a lot of people don't realize it, that they might be permanently signed in to their YouTube, and when you like a video and you're signed into your YouTube, whether or not you realize it, that gets sent out. It gets sent out via your Twitter and probably in a few other places, Google Plus and maybe even other places. So the world can see what you're liking if you're signed in. He didn't realize he was signed in, so he liked this video thinking he was liking the video in private, and it was sent out through his Twitter feed. Oh, that is scrumdiddlyumptious. Now, you might say, if you were inclined to defend this guy, so what? He's into porn. Who isn't? That's really not hypocritical, because what he was objecting to is the public situation. The fact that this kid in public was messing around and it was a Jesus statue. Oh, we can't do that to Jesus. We only could do that to Muhammad. We can only do that to other religious symbols. Somebody got mad at me the other day when I mentioned something about a Muhammad statue. I wasn't thinking, you can't build a Muhammad statue. But the point still stands that if it was other religious statues, do you think that, whatever, if it happens to be Hindu, it happens to be Scientologist, and there's fucking Xenu and the aliens and the ships, whatever it is, do you think that these people would care as much? No, of course they wouldn't care. Just when it's, their religion, then all of a sudden they become like the Taliban, and they say, we're going to lock you up for offending my faith. So, is there a hypocrisy here? I say yes. Some would say, well, he didn't do anything in public, so it's different. Quote, 6 years ago, Higgins admitted to having extramarital sex in his local courthouse office with a woman following a meeting of the Bedford County Republicans. At the time, Higgins was the organization's vice chair. So not only is this guy going around liking videos about dropping loads, he's also fucking people in local courthouses and getting caught. And you're going to charge this poor kid for just joking around and taking a picture with a Jesus statue? Get over yourself. No, you know what I take away from this? And some people might not go as far as me, and they might disagree with me on this distinction here, but I don't just think that this guy's a hypocrite. I think that if you act in such an amazingly hypocritical and ironic way like this, I also think you're stupid. Because it's so clear and it's so apparent that you do not give a shit about holding yourself to the same standards that you hold other people to. Because you know deep down, you have to know in your heart of hearts that what this kid did, whether or not you like it, it's not a crime. It's not a fucking crime. What are we, in Saudi Arabia? Is that where we are right now? What are we going to behead people for offending the deity or for drug smuggling or homosexuality? I mean, we're bordering on that kind of insanity to consider locking a poor kid up for 2 years because he took a picture. You have to know in your heart of hearts, even if you don't like it, that it's really, you can't lock the poor kid up. Are you kidding me? It's not anywhere near that serious. In fact, I go a step further and I say, I hold up people like this as First Amendment heroes. You're really testing how much we believe in the First Amendment when you do shit like this. Because the whole idea of freedom of speech and freedom of expression is that you don't just defend it when it's something that we all agree with. It's most important, and you should defend it most when it's something that we might not like. That's how you know you're really committed to the idea of freedom of speech and freedom of expression. You know, it was, I think, Voltaire's quote of, you don't believe in freedom of speech unless you believe in it for the people you disagree with the most.